All right, boys, you ready? And a 1, and a 2, and a...
Alpha Wolf were one of those bands that you'd hear about, just seeing them on flyers here and flyers there. You know, they were the little band that could from Tasmania, who just kept on pushing and kept on grinding. My first real experience with them was when Ash sent me the album. So he'd been pitched it from the band, and Ash sent it across to me and said, "You need to check this out." You know, I gave it a listen, and then started hearing from like other people in the scene who had clearly heard the album early as well, and just kind of went, you know, this is really exciting. It's really different, you know, like the kick in from Water the State and things like that. And so that was my first experience with Alpha Wolf was, you know, my business partner saying, "Hey, this is a band that's really exciting," and I could see from him that he could kind of see the trajectory of the band and see where they were going. But yeah, that was probably my first experience with Alpha Wolf, was hearing mono for the first time.
I guess when we were gearing up to release Fault, we didn't have huge expectations of international touring. Of course we wanted to, and that was the goal, but we didn't know what we could manage, I guess.
After, you know, all the lineup changes and everything that we had, we went through a fair bit of stuff to relaunch, and everything goes so well, to get to go to Europe multiple times, to finally get to America. Everywhere else we went, I don't think we ever expected to get it. We definitely worked our asses off for it. We did everything we could to do that, but to actually see it through, do the 100 or so shows we've done around the world now, and to look back on it, it's just so surreal. It's like, damn, we actually fucking did it. Like, we see all these bands touring so much, and you know, it's something you always want to do, something you've been wanting to do since you were a kid, and then you're like, fuck, like, we actually did it somehow, off an EP, fucking, like, it wasn't even an album, like, this EP just took us around the fucking world. I don't think any of us expected that, that's for sure.
Touring internationally for the first time was very exciting for us. It was also daunting, as we had never done a run of shows to that extent before. We didn't really know what to expect, but the responses were mind-blowing. To be that far away from home, having strangers on the other side of the world know our songs, know our names, buying our merch, and giving us gifts, it was a lot more than we were ever expecting.
Being in Europe for the first time was, I don't know, it was crazy, honestly. It was unlike anything we'd ever done at that point. Such a huge tour with such huge bands as well. I think we really got on the perfect one with Amur. Obviously we take so much from them, so to be able to do such a huge tour in so many different countries was, yeah, it was just perfect for us.
We didn't know what we were in for. The bands on that lineup were huge, that had all been around for a long time, and we're pretty new, I guess. So we were the little babies of that crew, but it was amazing. The fans and the crowd were amazing. Every night we played some incredible shows, and I guess that's nearly set the standard.
It was while we were there, we also got and accepted the tour offer for Never Say Die, which would actually have us returning to Europe in 8 or 10 months afterwards or something like that, which was just crazy to hear while we were already over there.
Scotty, what are you doing?
The band. I am confirming our second Europe tour of 2019. My phone told that.
And I think once we heard that, we really felt like we had something. We got something behind us, and we weren't over in Europe for the first time off a fluke, and that we'd be back real soon. Which, yeah, that felt crazy.
Overall, it was a great experience. Loved being able to
go around in our own bus and see everything for the first time, and really bond as a band, because it's a long time to be overseas together in such a small space. So it's nice to go over there and see that you can actually do it together, and not kill each other. And we're fine. We never any problems with that. But it was definitely a very exciting first international trip with Alpha Wolf. Yeah, it was a good tour for us.
I first heard of Alpha Wolf in late 2014 when we were down in Melbourne playing a show with Sienna Skies. It was actually our first tour going through Melbourne, and I guess me personally, I kind of just got G'd up when I was watching him, and I don't know what it was, whether it was the bandanas or just a lot of breakdowns and 7 strings and whatnot. But I remember at one point Daniel being like, I've heard a lot about this band, but I just don't know what the buzz is. And I was like, no, I don't know, it's something there, but I'll wholeheartedly admit I did not check them out for another second or anything until 2016, when we were actually staying at Sabian's house, and he was showing us some of their new material that they were working on leading up to their first full length, and that was genuinely impressive. Like I've always kind of liked heavier styles of music, but they hadn't really crossed my radar until that. But as soon as I heard Nailbiter, just instrumentally, just off the bat, I was like, all right, there's something here. I'm interested, and I still am now. It's just we keep banging it out.
Going to Beijing in China. Left the house there while we leave. 6 a.m. this morning. It's like 10 p.m. now, and we're still waiting for a flight. It's not the most fun in the world.
We didn't lie. Still waiting.
We managed to book this really cool tour in Asia. It was like 14 shows, I think. We got to China. We had half a day there before our first show, and we went and looked at the Great Wall of China, and that's something I never thought being in a band would allow me to do. That place was like incredible.
Going to the Great Wall of China was so surreal. Seeing it in real life was just like so crazy. I'll always remember that I wish I enjoyed it more, but it was so fucking hot.
So we're in Beijing at the moment at the Great Wall of China. It's very cool. Lots of tourists.
I was about to do that.
Fully underestimated how brutal the weather is in China, and just how brutal of a walk the wall is. It was amazing, but it fucked us up at the same time.
Filming me. Gonna have a heart attack. Whew.
And then we go and play our first show in China, and it's the longest we've ever played, and yeah, we felt absolutely rancid, but it was dope.
The shows in China were all really good. We had to play for an hour every night, which was something different. A lot of the shows didn't have an opening band. I think 2 or 3 of the Chinese shows, we were the only band on. So it's a weird experience, sitting around. You're used to hearing all these bands playing and, getting ready and packing up and stuff, but it wasn't like that. All that stuff was already on stage. We were just waiting to play. And then we have to get up there and play for an hour in this 30 degree, 35 degree fucking venue, So it was different.
We're in Shanghai, in China, playing in a tiny club. It's gonna be sick.
it looks good. There's a lot of people down there. It's very hot. I'm very excited to play. It's gonna be rad.
I mean,
Nothing makes me laugh.
In China, you know, we didn't have a van or anything. All of the travel was really far, so we caught the high-speed trains, but that meant carrying all of our gear with us on our backs and in our hands. With our small crew, we had one tour promoter and ourselves, so 6 of us carrying all of our merch, all of our instruments, all of our gear.
everything about Asia was full of, like the traveling, the scheduling, the weather. Luckily the shows too, every show there was crazy, which made just the grueling traveling worth it. It was just like planes, trains, buses every day. Waking up 3, 4, 5 a.m, doing the show that same day, getting to the hotel after midnight, 3, 4 hours sleep again, and then just repeat. It was just an absolute onslaught.
People there don't have like Spotify and YouTube, Facebook and all that, so their only means of knowing our band was through our tour promoter who runs the heavy music community there. He keeps everyone up to date with what our bands are doing, and that's pretty crazy to think of.
Singapore's really cool. ATMs are being really nice to us. Super excited for the show. Saw some fans in the music store before that recognized me, which is weird because I'm the drummer, but it's cool.
Singapore's been very hard. We have really lovely tour managers, and they're driving us around everywhere and taking us to lovely places to eat.
Yeah,
it is so hard.
Everything sucks.
It's hard.
So I'm so sad all the time.
And playing through Southeast Asia was another crazy experience. Just so taxing, so brutal. Just to travel every day, the flights every morning, 4 to 6 hour flights, and then we'd have to travel to the venue, travel to the accommodation. We didn't really get to see much, which sucked. Some cities, the promoters were legends and they would show us around, but sometimes there was just no time at all. We'd just go to the venue, we'd play our show, get maybe 2 hours sleep, and then do it again. And it was that every day for like 10 days straight. And by the end of it, we were ruined. We were just so beat up.
What have you got to say?
Singapore's sick. The show better be good, otherwise someone's dying.
Someone's dying. What have you got to say?
I'm not good with this shit. Singapore's fucking sick.
Made our first show in Singapore tonight, and it's looking like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, I'm a fucking wolf. That's right, man.
Alright. Yeah.
I
KL.
Kuala Lumpur.
Big tower.
I'm holding the towers right now.
Go round and round. Up in the club, I'm like, who you with? See me in the house, yeah, that's my clique. Young, but a nigga.
We played in Thailand, in Bangkok. This show was basically in a venue that could have catered for Bring Me the Horizon or like other huge bands, so we had no idea what to expect. A couple of the fans had caught us in the street already, so it was looking to be pretty wild, I guess. Nothing had prepared us for what happened. Basically, there was these video walls set up, something we'd never had before, a huge stage, crew everywhere, and I think like 800 people turned up to that show, and it was crazy. Like, definitely one of the highlights of our Asian tour.
I don't think any of us had signed as much shit or taken as many photos as we did while we were in Asia, across there, especially China, was really crazy for it. It was so different.
Yeah, Southeast Asia was sick, but it was hard. I would do it again, but it was hard. So, big love to all of our Southeast Asian fans that came out and saw us, because we were tired. So, thanks.
I lost the odds on I have to mosh to the opening band of our show.
Once we got to Japan, I think there was 1 or 2 days off, especially that helped. We're just huge fans of Japanese culture, obviously, and full into that weeb shit, so we were having a great time. And we had a home base as well. We were staying at our photographer's house instead of just new city every day, new hotel, train, plane, new place. So we'd go out and then come back, which is just more akin to what we do at home, so that felt cool. It felt a little bit more regular. And yeah, just when we started playing shows there, they started going off again. Japan was a little bit different to the other countries. I don't know how, but yeah, every show there was sick. I don't think I'd made as many friends as I did on that tour. Like, everyone, like, yeah, that was a real fucking good time.
3, 2, 1.
He said, this place, every food is all you can eat.
Oh shit.
Yeah? Alpha Alpha Psycho is great. Alpha Alpha Psycho. Pedas Psycho.
People there loved it. They just get behind the scene, they get behind the atmosphere. Some of the bands there are just as crazy as bands from, America and Australia. They give it their all, and shout out to those bands. They're just crazy. think it was our first sold out show outside of Australia. It was in Osaka, I think. And yeah, they just loved it. It was so crazy to see how far our music has gotten outside of Australia, which is so fucking far away from everywhere. To go to the other side of the world and sell out a show and people even know our songs was like, man, we must be doing something decent because people fucking care for some reason.
What are you feeling?
What?
What do you feel?
What am I feeling? Excited, keen, nervous, tired, you know.
It's time to rock.
Yeah. Thanks, man. You're so exciting.
Everybody wants to talk, but they never listen. Right, faces, you take it back. Just give my voice. Right down, I
Touring Japan was definitely a bucket list for us. You know, we love Japan as a country. I'd been there a couple of times before and playing shows, getting to meet people there who spoke English, and we get to hang out and see some new parts of Japan that we hadn't seen before. Getting to meet the fans there and stuff like that was an incredible experience. We toured with a band called Pale Dusk and another band called Suggestions, who are both incredible bands. And each show we played, we had packed out rooms. It was crazy, and the fans there were like very genuine, very friendly, and we can't wait to go back.
What have you done?
What do you mean what have I done? I brought us to the Mode Cafe, bro.
Yeah.
Scotty's got his passport. Does John have his passport?
Name?
Scotty.
What's your sound?
Just say
What's yours?
Bow. I didn't buy alcohol, so I didn't get one.
I think it was our deal thing.
I'm so excited!
We got to do a headline tour for Fault in Australia, only a couple of shows in capital cities, and we sold out the entire run. Some shows were really fast, so we don't even know what size rooms we probably could have done.
I don't think we really noticed the growth in Australia until we did the Fault tour. Like we'd seen the figures, you know, we'd seen the numbers be growing, and it's like, yeah, cool, looks like it's going well. Then when we sold out a whole Australian tour, we were like, shit, this is doing something. Like we're getting somewhere in Australia finally.
So it's hard to gauge the growth for me personally, because I was there hanging out beforehand, but I wasn't doing the shows. I wasn't paying that much attention to it and everything. But every show sold out. Every show was absolutely wild. We did the extra leg in Tasmania, which went off. Yeah, and ever since then, on our support tours, we hit some pretty big shows with some sort of different crowds, sort of older crowds, more OG, with the August Burns Red Tour, and had some really good responses there, which felt cool.
In October 2019, we toured Australia with Alpha Wolf. Admittedly, I wasn't overly familiar with their music before we got there, and I found out pretty quickly how intense and heavy this band is. I remember being backstage. I don't know if it was the first show or not. It was somewhere early on in the tour. I was backstage and I asked someone, who is this band that's playing? They are absolutely killing it. Oh, this is Alpha Wolf. Geez, I need to go check this out. So I walked out front, and in this particular venue, you walk out of the dressing room and you're facing the back of the drum riser. And I just saw Mitch laying in, just sticks way up high, killing everything that he hit. Crashes were somehow surviving. Just such an intense band, so heavy. It surprised me, I think, because off stage, Mitch in particular is very even-keeled and soft-spoken, and it's like when the sticks meet his hands, the superpower comes out. And it was just really impressive to see.
We got to support August Burns Red in some huge rooms, and that was an incredible tour. And we also supported Polaris in some even bigger rooms, and we will support bands for both of those tours, but I guess our response was phenomenal. Like, a lot of the comments, a lot of the reviews, a lot of the talk that we heard we didn't seem like an opener band.
The Polaris shows in Australia were the biggest shows I've ever played in Australia. I'm sure it's probably the same for the other guys in the band as well. They were just mental. That band is huge, unstoppable. So huge thanks to Polaris for taking us out on that as well. That really helped us in Australia.
Touring with Alpha Wolf it's like touring with like 5 younger brothers, but at the same time, like, not all the time. The guys know when to be serious, know when to get shit done, but at the same time, you never know when someone's just gonna be behind you, fucking just being a little cheeky shit. It's fun, keeps you on your toes.
Hey, Lockie, mate, how do you feel about Abu Dhabi?
It's expensive. Just bought like an $11 copy.
Yeah, damn.
Worth it, but expensive. Watch me be a nuisance.
We're checking out the Cathedral of Cologne. This obelisk looking fucking building in the background.
Oh, it's known as colon, actually? Yeah, that's how they pronounce it.
Yeah, colon? Like your anus?
Like inside of your asshole.
Yeah?
Yeah.
There's so many pairs.
So in November of 2019, we were back to Europe on the Impericon Never Say Die tour. That was heaps of fun. Once again, nice to see where we do well in Europe and where we don't do well in Europe. Thanks to all our fans for coming out. And thanks to anybody who checked us out for the first time.
We're on Never Say Die 2019, Crystal Lake headlining. We got to Birmingham this morning. It's cold, it's wet, everything is made out of brick.
Apple?
And we got apples, we got avos. Oh, they're really ripe actually. They're almost too ripe. Oh, yeah.
That tour for us was really fun. We've never been on nightliner buses before, so that was all of us breaking our nightliner virginities. We got to hang out with Crystal Lake, In Heart's Wake, King 810, Our Hollow, Our Home, Polar, Great American Ghost. Yeah, it was great.
You're really early.
To try and find use and apologist, so I'm doing something right.
There you go, you're doing it right.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, is that a puddle? You're a different person on camera, Scotty. Act normal.
What's normal?
Would you go coffee? Whoever's watching, would you go coffee? Coffee, what's coffee?
A couple frosty suds with the boys.
Just in Manchester today, Never Say Die tour, playing the 6th show. It's been sick so far.
What's this cunt doing?
Do something! Our the fucking sickest band ever! We will be back! I swear on my life! Every UK show! Get here! Get here for a fucking Melbourne! Fuck yes! Fuck yes!
Great bunch of bands. Not one dude on the tour I didn't get along with. Yeah, it was just a really good tour for us.
Day 6, 7, 8, 9 of the Never Say Die tour. We just got to Hamburg this morning. We're just going to look around, see if we can find a church. Just read some pages of the good book, you know, confess. Yeah.
Sandwich is good. Rice isn't bad.
You're fucking dead, cunt. Make us fucking wait. Get him, John. Get him, John.
Today we're in Prague. Prague. We got a day off tomorrow, so and this city is beautiful. We remember from last time we were here because we've been here before. Yeah, so we're sightseeing today on the Lime Patrol. Lime boys.
Munich, Germany. 4th last show tour, and I finally got sick. So now we got the nasal spray. Sorry for that ambulance. Pharmacy's shut here at 1 p.m. on a Saturday apparently, which seems a little bit ridiculous because you know who the fuck has time to go to a pharmacy before 1 p.m. on a Saturday. But we're playing backstage tonight and it's gonna be lit.
What is it? There's a shady character hanging outside the pharmacy there.
Yeah, he's been following us this entire time. I swear to God. Like he sees us. Where's he coming?
No,
fucking, let's go. Fucking.
Play Witch.
Good?
Yep.
So the fingers on the top?
Nearly there.
Hang on.
Go right a bit.
Am I right or you're right?
You're right. More right. Nearly there.
Backwards?
Nearly. The other way.
Oh, it's on the top, yeah?
Down a little bit. Left. Left more.
My left?
Yep. Left more.
Take the photo, would you?
Left.
Oh.
Left more.
Is it on the top?
Down. Yep, you got it.
Sick. Paris, France, fucking Alpha Wolf.
Harry.
Oui, oui.
Ooh la la.
Fucking oath in Paris.
Alpha Wolf.
Alpha sick cunts.
America. We're finally going to America.
So we had a dream tour lined up with Fit for a King, Chelsea Green, Crystal Lake and us all across America in some sick rooms. It was looking to be the dream tour for us. You know, it can be a hard time getting into the States as a touring band. We'd heard of some nightmare stories with visa issues and stuff like that. Luckily, we had planned well enough ahead that we didn't run into any trouble getting in.
Yeah, that was a huge time in the making. Like visas, applications, and lawyers for your visas and applications, and all this crazy stuff that Scotty had to do. All this money, all this. Did some overnight drives to get to the embassy on time just to put some papers in and take some photos, all that stuff, all that shit. We finally get there and it's awesome.
That's crazy.
America's always been the place where you always wanted to get to, I think. For me personally, it's the place where you, as a kid, you look up to people that get to go there. It's like you get to America, you fucking made it as a band. That's kind of how you looked at it when you were younger.
I was actually on the phone to my mum the other day, and she reminded me that when I was like 12 years old, I got my first bass guitar. I used to always say, when I'm older, I'm gonna go to America and I'm gonna tour America. So I guess I'm living that. I guess like I'm living up to that now.
I thought I told you motherfuckers that
Hey, what's up? We're in somewhere in Missouri right now, just picking up some new caps. About to hit the parties.
Feeling loco.
Yeah, might hit a feel loco.
Fuck, you smell like shit.
Yeah, I got nothing else other than that.
So it's our first night in America. We stopped at Walmart. And this is our sleeping arrangement for the next 6 weeks. We got 2 on the floor with our thick king size mattress here with our super dupe thingo. 1 across this row, 1 across that row. I'm gonna have 1 down the drive aisle, 1 under the seats, and she's all cozy cabins, mate. The first show of our tour, I think, was cancelled due to a tornado or something. But that was alright. So we finally got to play our first show, and it was like fucked up good.
No room for abuses, no space for snakes, and no place for apologists! Springfield, this is Alpha Wolf! Move this fucking room! We're having a lot of fucking fun. This is an awesome first impression for our first show in the country. Thank you so much.
Dude, your reaction was wild.
I had no idea what to expect.
There were so many people singing along, so many stage dives.
The stage dives was crazy.
Dude, I bet you all the other shows aren't gonna be like that.
Yeah.
Like, I bet you it's just that night people knew your band, but every other night no one knows your band, and you guys are gonna suck and not sound any good.
That's what
Okay, first time that I heard about Alpha Wolf. It was for a European tour that we went on with Rise of the North Star and Amur, and I had never heard of the band. Checked it out, thought it was pretty cool. Generally, I like to make fun of bands with wolf names, but I actually really liked this. And it was a little like Sworn In-esque, which I think is a compliment. But when we went and toured in Europe together, I definitely poked fun at them a bit. Like I was a dick. But I fell in love with the guys and like grew pretty close to them. I think that we hung out a lot throughout that tour, probably the most, I'd say. And yeah, it was great. I'm glad that we're friends now. Thanks for dealing with all my YOLO jokes. Hey, you see those girls over there?
So we'd gotten into the country all good, but I guess in the weeks leading up to, we'd started hearing of this coronavirus making its way around, etc., but we didn't think, it'd ever hit close to home. I think once we got to America, people were starting to panic buy in Australia, and it was looking a bit weird everywhere. But again, we didn't think it'd bother us at all.
God damn. Name's Buck.
Like a fucking hillbilly.
You like fuck.
Where we at?
Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah?
Cleveland, Ohio.
Venue?
House of Blues.
What are we gonna do?
Play a show.
Everywhere on Facebook says Live Nation cancels all shows. Live Nation cancels all shows.
We're still rocking.
Cool.
Until somebody at the powers that be tell us no rock.
How you getting that?
Hey, feel me? Cleveland, Ohio is for lovers.
And
This is gonna be 6 weeks.
Coronavirus. Don't coronavirus, tell the boss, but coronavirus.
Hey, you want some? You guys can eat a noodle. Noodles for anybody? $2.
Fuck coronavirus.
Where the COVID thing's happening, Corona's happening, obviously we're making stupid jokes in the van, like, oh, imagine what would happen if like everything got shut down and we were just stranded in America.
Last show of tour tonight, right?
Yeah.
It's been a good run. 3 shows is like, starting to get a bit tired, but it's cool, it's easier.
Lo and behold, like that's almost what happened. That boom, like tour just gets cancelled. Everybody on the tour's heart is broken. Like the mood is just like down.
Yeah, but Pittsburgh is definitely Pittsburgh's off, which sucks because that was tomorrow. Yeah, then trying to see about Detroit and Joliet. Then Joliet's probably gonna be the last show. Yeah, the last show. Oh, really? Everyone's dropping everything. Florida dropped, California dropped, Oregon dropped, Washington. Everything like after that is a drop.
Let's go play the last set, Phil.
Alright, we're going extra hard. Alright. Was that serious?
I'm not missing this. I was going to go with D&D friends, but not anymore.
3, 2, 1, fire!
start of our first USA tour, everything seems to be going to shit, so it's really cool to see this room so full of people so early in the night. Give it up for yourselves, we really appreciate it.
The tour's cancelled, bro. Let's go. Go one more show, we're going home.
One more show.
One more show, we're going home. I laugh, but I'm in pain.
This is truly an unprecedented situation.
This virus doesn't discriminate. It attacks everyone.
I want every American to be prepared for the hard days that lie ahead.
The coronavirus has changed life as we know it across America.
The world must prepare for a potential coronavirus pandemic. That's the warning from the head of the World Health Organization.
In the past 2 weeks, the number of cases of COVID-19 outside China has increased 13-fold.
They are cracking down actually now on public events. That's been in the news the last couple of days.
We'd started hearing that venues were starting to cancel shows due to this coronavirus. And none of us really knew what to think. You know, we were so far from home and we'd spent a lot of money to get there that we didn't want to believe that anything could happen to our tour. It was pretty heartbreaking.
And yeah, I remember when the news broke to us, it was just like soul crushing. We'd heard rumors about all the closures and stuff going on, like not being at home. It was kind of hard to tell how serious it was. You know, we'd been hearing this stuff coming for like a few months now, and we're like, it's not going to affect us. It's not going to affect shows. Like if the tour gets cancelled, we'll just keep playing. That was kind of my outlook. And then as the days kept going and going, we were like, shit, this is like pretty serious. And then finally, the news broke that the tour was canned. Every show was getting shut down. Promoters were pulling the pin, and we were just like, shit, what the fuck are we gonna do?
We were meant to play 29 shows in the States, and I believe we played 6, maybe 5. I can't remember. I try to put it out in the back of my head, the tour that never was.
Yeah, I don't know, I'm still like, just weird about it. We're all still like, what the fuck about it? Because we've done nothing since.
So yeah, to finally get to America and be like, man, this is like the dream to be here. And then to just get shipped back home a week later was, crazy. Absolutely crazy. Like, for people that don't know, Mitch lives in a different city to the rest of us, and we haven't seen him since America. He went his own way home. We went to Melbourne, he went to Brisbane, and we haven't seen him since. Which is, for us, when we toured like crazy in 2019, to just go our separate ways when we're about to put an album out, and I haven't seen him since is like, super, super weird.
So we ended up spending 10 days in the US all up, and then had to fly back home and quarantine for 2 weeks. But, the shows that we did get to play in the States were sick. They were really good. So, a very bittersweet time of our lives, because that was shaping up to be really nice for us. It was a really good tour. We had a lot of really good fans come out and say hi and, get stuff signed and buy merch and say, just come up and talk to you, which is nice.
We get to play one last show after that news, and, we treated it as the last show. And that was definitely a really fun show to play. I think we played 6 or 7 shows total in America. Now with the world in the state that it's in, we have no idea when we'll be playing again.
This is the last motherfucking show of the tour, like 5 days in, so we gotta make this one good, you feel that?
this whole next period of time for the band, post A Quiet Place to Die, is hard to... I have no idea what's going to happen. None of us have any idea what's going to happen. I would love to go around the world again. Would love to do that. Would love to go around and play every country again, and you know, I would just love a lot of people to hear the album. I want everybody to. Everybody should hear the album.
For where we want to go in the future, I just don't really see it as like a question. It's just like whatever happens is going to happen. We've always done what we want to do. We've always written songs that we like. Always just done things our way. I haven't really thought about it. It's just we're going to keep, when we can finally play shows, we're going to tour like crazy. We're going to keep writing music that we want to write. Yeah, we always just do things how we want to do it. We work with people that appreciate that mindset and know that we work our asses off to do that. So yeah, we're just going to keep touring when we can. We're going to keep writing music. Keep writing fucking breakdowns.
It's hard to say. It's weird releasing an album in a time where we really can't do anything. The only time we've been out is for videos or photos, but nothing really together. Like, yeah, so it's hard to say. We're optimistic and everything like that, but we're being realistic about the situation and the next shows that'll happen. But fuck, when the album comes out, like, we just want to get back to what we were doing. I guess that's what I want to do. Finish that America tour. Finish just every tour we had planned, honestly. That's what I want to get back to.
I guess with the next release, we want to go as hard as we did with Fault, but even harder, hit more countries, play more shows, play bigger shows, play more headline shows. The songs we have coming were built for a live audience, so we can't wait to get out there and tour hard, tour everywhere.
With our next release, I want us to go to places that we've never been before, return to places that we've been. I just want this next release to push us as far as we can, go and even further. Like, so far, I'm just extremely proud of what we've accomplished, and I'm extremely excited for what the future holds for Alpha Wolf.
I don't think it's blowing too much smoke to say that working with Alpha Wolf has made Grayscale a lot of what it is today. I mean, we've seen the growth of Alpha Wolf kind of take the same path as the growth of Grayscale, and seeing them grow from, you know, a band that wants to play some shows to a band who want to be an actual band and who want to take over the world and who want to tour. Like, you can see the hustle in the band and how badly they want it and how hard they work and how serious they are. You know, like working with Alpha Wolf, it's a stress at times. You know, I have to be the mean dad and I have to say no a lot. But it's clear that they want it. You know, it's very, very clear that they're one of those bands who is hungry and is going to fight. That's one thing I'll say about Alpha Wolf. From the very, very beginning, they have fought for their place in the scene. They have fought to make something of themselves and to make people pay attention. And the response for A Quiet Place to Die, seeing it on so many people's end of year lists and whatnot, kind of proves it's like they have solidified themselves, and all credit to them. Like, I think, I hope that I've taught them something, but I know that they've taught me a lot. And, you know, the experience of helping them grow from mono to Fold to A Quiet Place to Die has really helped shape Grayscale for what it is today.